Hi guys, Ant from UK Fountain Pens here. I just wanted to share with you some very first thoughts on this, the Radius Superiore. Um, Radius is a brand that has been on my radar for a little while, and yeah, like probably many of you, I've held off from buying a 400 plus pound pen that is from a brand I didn't know. Um, this was in the Black Friday deal at Apple Boom, and I bought it, and it arrived today. In fact, it arrived just an hour or so ago. Um, so I wanted to share some first thoughts with you. This is a much bigger pen than I expected. Actually, here it is against an oversized Visconti Homo sapiens. It's longer. It is also wider, and it's lighter than the Lava, but it's still a chunky pen. I was expecting it to be a much smaller offering. It is a piston filler. It is a Jovo nib with ebonite feed. So it's a 14 karat gold nib, which is blank and radius engraved. The second thing that really leapt out on me, aside from the size in the hand, is the section is very flared, which is great. It's really comfortable. The cap threads are a tiny bit rough, but there's no step at all. It's a mystery filler. There is no ink window. The piston knob is not 100% flush, but it has a huge number of turns. It takes a very long time to wind the piston all the way out and all the way back in again. On the other hand, the cap threads take one turn, which is great. The clip is tiny and very kind of flimsy feeling actually, and it has that kind of plastic feeling of an old Parker. The cap band is quite sharply cut, and the edges of the cap are quite sharply cut too. So, although this pen feels really solid and really well built, there's a couple of rough edges. In fact, the inside of the cap is completely unfinished. It's so matte that it looks grey, even though it's a black pen. Um, the whole package you get is pretty good, though. It arrives in a quite sizable box with a plush sort of suede branded interior and a bottle of ink, which is leaky, or at least it was when it came over the seas from the Netherlands. Um, Overall, I had it tuned by Apple Boom, and Annabelle did an amazing job as always. I went for an EF nib, and it writes really nicely. It's got a bit of bounce to it. I've got it inked with the Radius black ink, and that seems to be a decent enough black. It actually feels really comfortable and writes really well. So I'm pleasantly surprised by this pen. It does feel like a classic, except it's oversized by vintage standards. The finishing leaves a little bit to be desired, but for the price, ebonite feed, piston filler, gold nib, big chunky sizing, um, it's really good. I'm not sure I would pay the £400 plus, and I wish it wasn't purely gold trim across all the versions. Um, I went for the all black because whatever version you get, the section is black, and I dislike that on a pen. The last thing, which is quite a neat little touch to show the sort of limited edition, on the section is engraved, and you won't be able to see it on the video, um, in Roman numerals 2021. So that's always a nice little touch. So that's everything I wanted to say in the first impressions. I expect I'll do a full review of this one because there's an absence of coverage of this pen out there. But yeah, that's it. So look out for that on ukfountainpens.com, and thanks for watching.